This is lesson 59, adding mixed numbers for course 1. So when you're adding mixed numbers, it's the same as adding fractions. You're just having to remember that you also have a whole number in there. And now we've also done adding fractions with unlike denominators. So let's look at this one to begin with. So just a quick reminder, these are mixed numbers. They are numbers that have both a whole number and a fraction. That is a mixed number. When you're adding mixed numbers, you do it the same way as if you're adding anything else. You just, first of all, need to look at it and go, okay, to add the fractions, they both need to be the same denominators. If they are not same denominators, that means you need to change them. So we're going to start off with looking at them and saying, okay, I have 1/2 and 2/3 as my fractions. Those do not have the same denominator, so I need to change those into having the same denominators. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to times the fractions only. Okay, so when you're changing the fractions into having like denominators, you are only changing the fractions. Okay, because what you're doing is you're finding an equivalent for that fraction. You don't need to touch the whole number. The whole number is still a whole number. You're finding an equivalent for the fraction. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to take the 1. Oh, that's not a very good pen. Just a minute. I'm going to take the 1/2, and I'm going to times both of those by the denominator of this one. So that is times 3/3. Okay, so I'm timesing both of those by 3. That whole number remains. It's still 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So there's my first one. My second one is 2 2/3. And again, I am timesing the numerator and denominator by the opposite denominator. So 2/2. 2 times 2 is 4. Let me add in that whole number first. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. I now have my fractions that have the same denominator. So I have 1 3/6 add 2 4/6. Notice again, I didn't change the whole numbers, okay? Because I'm just changing the fractions. The reason that is if I take 1/2, okay? Over here is going to be 1 1/2. Now remember, that is just a half that's been filled in all the way. So this one was also broken into 2, and it has both parts filled in. This one's broken into 2, and it has one part filled in. When I change this circle to match the opposite circle, I'm timesing it again by 2, remember? So I'm changing this one into 6ths, and I'm changing this one into 6ths, okay? But it's still fully filled in. The fact that it's fully filled in does not change. That's why it's still 1, okay? I can do as many pieces as I want in here. It doesn't change the fact that it's fully filled in. Okay, that's why your whole numbers do not change. Okay, so let's do 1 3/6 plus 2 4/6. We're going to start with the fractions. Okay, so 6 just comes straight over. 3 and 4 is 7. Right off the bat, you can see that 7 is bigger than 6, okay, which means this is actually a whole with 1 left over, okay? Now I add my whole numbers. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus this one is 4, so I get 4 1/6. And if I was looking for lowest terms, this is already lowest terms because the numerator is 1. As soon as your numerator is 1, you're already lowest terms. Okay, so what you're doing for this lesson is you're just taking everything you've already learned and putting it into practice. We're going to do one more. This one is going to be 2 1/2 add 1 6. Okay, now for this one, I only actually have to change this number because I can make 2 into 6 by timesing 2 by 3, right? 2 times 3 is 6. So I don't have to change this fraction. I just need to change this fraction. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, okay, well, the 2 just comes straight down. This one I'm timesing by 3 and also timesing this top one by 3. So that is 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6. Add, and I can just bring this one straight down, 1 and 1/6. Okay, now they both have 6 as the denominator. I'm going to do my fractions first. 6 just comes straight over. 3 plus 1 is 4. My whole numerator is not bigger than my denominator, so I don't have any whole numbers I need to deal with. 2 plus 1 is 3. I have 3 and 4/6. Make sure this is lowest terms. It is not lowest terms, so I need to now take this and go, okay, if I have 4 and 6, what can divide both of those numbers? 2 can divide both of those numbers, so I'm going to divide both of them by 2, which is 4 divided by 2 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And I'll carry over my whole number. I now have 3 and 2/3. That is my lowest term mixed number. Okay, so again, first one we did the example of, we looked at it and we had to change both fractions, but not the whole numbers. Second time we've done it, I only had to change one of the fractions, but again, I didn't move the whole number, okay? Because no matter how many pieces you break that whole piece into, it's still a whole piece. All of it is still colored in, okay? Once you get your answer, please remember to make sure it is in lowest terms. Always, always, always put it into lowest terms. That is lesson 59 for course 1, adding mixed numbers.